Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome back to Be Simply Fit, the podcast where we dive into the science, techniques, and mindset on how we can get physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually stronger every day. My name's Jim Burns. I'm your host. I am a NASM certified personal trainer, senior fitness specialist, and a silver sneakers instructor. Each episode will focus on you and me because I need to learn all these things as well. So, grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and let's talk about how we can all remain simply fit and live a fuller and more vibrant life. Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. And I hope you enjoy this episode as we're going to cover some things that I think are going to help you down the road. Today's February 21st, 2025. This is a recorded podcast. I am in New Jersey, in case anyone ever wonders where I'm broadcasting from. Right now, it's like 25 degrees out. It's been so cold over the course of the last month. And once it gets cold out, really cold, I have a treadmill which I use just about, I've used it every day recently because it's just so cold to go out and walk. And, in speaking about walking, there's a lot of different ways that you can walk, and this is not what the show's about, but, I walk, and years ago, I came upon a program because I was a runner originally, and I hurt my knee, but I wanted to stay in shape, and there was a guy named Dr. Leonard Schwartz, and he came up with a program called Heavy Hands, which was doing a routine, if you will, with light dumbbells. Certainly no heavier than 10 pounds. And they involved, squats and presses, but they were all being done in sequence, and it kept you in pretty good shape. And then he came out with a book that was called Heavy Hands Walking, where you walk carrying dumbbells as you walk, and you can go through a variety of exercises like lateral raises, front raises, curls, overhead presses, and then even some squats are mixed in there throughout the walk. And I want to tell you, that kept you in really, really good shape. It really did. So if you have a chance, that's a great book. It's called Heavy Hands Walking. You can look it up on Amazon or online. And the author was Dr. Leonard Schwartz. I believe he's deceased now. It's been so long ago. But it was a great program. Now, what I do is probably 2 to 3 times a week, I walk with either a 15 or a 30-pound vest on. I tried rucking. I tried it with the backpack. And my shoulders are stiff, and it was just too difficult for me to put a backpack on. So I started working out with the vest, and that was really that will give you a phenomenal workout. You could stop, do squats, you could do push-ups off of park benches. there's a bunch of stuff that you can do, and this just adds weight to the workout, which ends up translating into your feet and into your legs. And the more you get your legs involved, which is your legs are where about 90% of your metabolism is, because it's such a large muscle group between your quadriceps and your hips and so on, that you burn a lot of calories. And so if you want to get on Amazon, pick up a vest. There's a bunch of vests on Amazon that you can get. You know, I prefer the one that you can zip up as opposed to Velcro. But it's a great way to get a far more intense workout for sure. And I really enjoy it. And at times what I'll do is I'll put the vest on and I'll walk on the treadmill. And if you really want to get, daring, you can put the treadmill on an incline. And, I build up. I go like 2%, 4, 6, 8, 10. And as you're going up and you're using that vest, you feel it. You really do. And you get an amazing aerobic workout, which really helps to burn calories. So you can walk in a variety of ways. You could stop and do squats, stop and do push-ups. Parks today have physical fitness or almost like small gyms set up where you can do some exercises in a park as well. So, you can get really creative with your walking program if you want to put your creative hat on and get those juices running, and you'll find ways that you can really burn more calories. Get your radio, get your phone going with some music, listen to a book, however you want to do it. And you'll find that it's going to be very, very beneficial to you. What I want to talk to you about today, and and I think it's a good topic because of the fact that we're coming upon now the spring. I'm 70 years old, and we have an in-ground pool in the yard. I have a reasonable amount of property to take care of, and by that I mean it's just enough to keep me busy. Just enough. I have a reasonable amount of grass to maintain. I have spots where I can put, maybe a vegetable garden. I have the pool, which is 18 by 36, and it's an in-ground pool, and you can go swimming. I like maintaining my grass. We did a lot of work on the pool last fall, so I'm going to have to lay some sod this spring. And the yard becomes a spot where you're doing a lot of lugging. Now, over the winter, I was experimenting with farmer carries or farmer walks, where I hung 2 dumbbells, 1 in each hand, and I walked around the perimeter of my property. And what this did was it kind of prepares you for the lugging that you're going to be doing when you start working on your property in the spring. Now, this is me. Many people may not have property. Some people live in an apartment. Some people have small property. They live in condominiums. They don't have a lot to maintain. But for me, doing the farmer carry was a tremendous activity. It improved my grip. It made it was much more difficult, on my legs, and it put me in a position where if I had to lug stuff, I'm building up, my certain muscle groups to be able to do it. The other thing that was very beneficial to me, and I found this out last summer, was I have been on for probably 2 years a deadlift routine. And doing deadlifts really makes it far easier to lug dirt, bags of dirt on your shoulders. It makes it easier to pick things up that weigh a lot. It makes it far easier to work with concrete. It makes it easier to cut your lawn. It makes it easier to carry groceries inside. Anything that involves the carrying of something in your arms or something that you have to pick up off the ground. It makes it easier if you have children and you have to pick up a young child who's 2 or 3 years old or maybe 1 year old, however, because they weigh a lot. It strengthens not only your legs, it strengthens your rotator cuff, your back. It is an overall body exercise that makes things much easier to do once you get into the habit of doing it once a week, maybe twice a week. That's the other piece that I want to make everyone aware of. Certain things only have to be done once or twice a week. Like deadlifts, I do once a week. Maybe I'll do twice. Okay? Small muscle groups, you can do those twice a week. But large muscle groups, like your legs and so on, you can get away with doing squats twice a week, I believe, because your legs are carrying you all over the place, so they're always getting a workout. It's when your legs are not doing enough work, that's when it starts to get tough to get out of a chair. It starts to get tough to get down on your hands and knees and stand up off the floor. It gets a little bit tougher when your legs aren't in shape. Now, why am I discussing this today? Well, I just put together it's a short ebook, but it's not as short as you think. It's called Functional Fitness. I give you 4 weeks of programs that you can do 3 times a week, and I give you all the videos that you need to put yourself through the program. Now, this program, goes over many, many, many exercises that you can do. And what it will do for you, as I just said, it will make it far easier to do your everyday tasks. Now, what is functional fitness? Well, functional fitness basically trains your muscles to work together. I did a podcast a while ago, and it was called Compound Exercises. You want to do compound exercises because, you know what, how often do you sit and do curls? How often do you sit and just do overhead presses? I mean, I'm not talking about in your workout routine. I'm talking about an everyday task. The biggest thing that you're going to have to do with your hands over your head with weight in them might be putting things up on a shelf where you have to get your hands over your head. So what functional fitness does, it trains your muscles to work together, and it basically prepares you for the daily challenges. And it kind of simulates some of the movements that you may do at home, at work, maybe if you're even involved in like playing pickup basketball or some other sport. What you end up doing is you work your entire body, so your whole body is involved with the activity. One of the biggest problems, and I'll just use, let's use bowling as an example. Bowlers, you think, well, they just have to roll that ball down the aisle, down the lane. But in reality, they are putting tremendous strain on their shoulder, their rotator cuff, their forearm, and what begins to happen is they start to suffer from overuse injury. So what we want to do with bowlers is we want to help them transfer weight more to their legs, let their legs carry them a little bit further, build the shoulder up a little bit more so that they can bring the ball and go forward with it. But if they just keep bowling, they're going to wear out. They're going to wear out their shoulder. And the exercises that you typically do when you're involved with functional fitness involves multiple muscle groups. And it improves your strength, your balance, your coordination, your flexibility, your endurance. It improves all of this. Always keep in mind what I'm suggesting to you, and that is do compound exercises. Do compound exercises. Now, what are some of the benefits? It's going to improve your performance, from an activity standpoint. Everything will get a little bit easier. Things like lifting, bending, twisting, all of these things will get a little bit easier. It will, now, and this is a big one, it will help reduce your risk of falling because you're going to be keeping your body. There's something that's called proprioception, where you know where your body is in space. And if you pick something up that where it ends up tilting to one side, because you don't do that too often, what will begin to happen is you'll pick it up and you'll start to lean to one side and you'll try to walk carrying this thing like in your right arm or in your left arm, okay, and you'll get thrown off balance. So it really does help with the risk of injury and falling. It helps with core stability. If your core is strong, you'll be able to do a lot of other body movements. And, don't think that you have to go and do crunches or hollow holds or a lot of sit-ups. Planks are probably one of the best core activities that you can do. But in reality, if you do a lot of bending, twisting, and even while you're sitting in your car, if you work on holding your stomach muscles in, you'll strengthen your core. And what you want is the core muscles that wrap around your stomach, your back, and your waist to be strong. Because think of a paper bag that's held up in front of you, and think of the fact that that paper bag is your torso, your muscles. Well, now take the paper bag and put one hand on one side, one hand on the other side, and push it in. That's what you want. You want to have the ability to and allow the muscles that surround your internal muscles. Those are known as the local muscles. You want the global muscles to really tighten up on your core when you're involved with activity. This way you don't hurt your back, you don't pull muscles, you feel better, and you can move better. My name's Jim Burns. You're listening to Be Simply Fit, and we're covering functional exercises. Functional exercises. And we're going to get into just a little bit about the idea that older people, and why older people. And by older people, I mean me. I'm going to say older would be between 55 and my age, 55 and 65. Let me explain a little piece here to you, so you got an understanding of what happens when you're younger. Your body has a lot of resilience, and it can bounce back. It can bounce back from a lot of things. Half of the things that go wrong with your body, you're not even aware of, because your body fights them off before they become a problem. But there's low-level stuff that goes on. And when you can begin to fight those things off and keep things from happening to you as you grow older, what will happen is you won't have the general aches and pains, and you won't have the illness, you won't have the tired feeling that comes with growing old. So how do you do it? How do you fight this stuff off? Number one, you have to exercise. People believe that what they're going to do is they're going to start exercising when they're 50 years old. You have to be exercising your entire life. Kids don't have to exercise. Why? Because they exercise every day. Little kids I'm talking about. They'll run around on the playground, hopefully. Okay, they'll play outside. They'll ride their bikes. They stay in shape naturally. But once they hit 16, 15, 18, for some reason or another, we have a bunch of couch potatoes on our hands, okay, and they want to sit on their phones and stay in the house, and they don't want to go out anymore. Now, when that starts to happen, their body starts to deteriorate slowly and a little more. And by the time they get married, and then they're about 30, and they start having kids, and they don't participate in any type of physical fitness activities, they start to put weight on, and things start to go wrong. Now, we're still at a point where our body fights things off. Maybe like in our 30s, our body is still fighting it off. But as we hit our 40s and then we get into our 50s, things start going wrong. That's when you start saying, why am I tired? Well, you might have diabetes. I got this pain in my back. Maybe it's your heart. I got a pain over here. Could be something, another organ. How come my vision got blurry all of it? Well, you could be having a stroke. There's things that go wrong, and they are slowly creeping up on you. Exercise is the only way to prevent a lot of things from happening to you. It's not going to stop everything totally, but if you're at this stuff daily and doing things daily and making exercise a priority, the chances are you're going to do pretty good as you grow older. Now, I'm 70, and I stayed in really good shape for a large part of my life. As a matter of fact, when I went in for quadruple bypass surgery, the doctor said to me, after the surgery, your heart's in great shape. We just gave you like 4 new arteries, but the bottom line is you're in good shape. And that's what was important. He didn't find a lot of stuff wrong with me. I had my valves checked recently. There's no stenosis. I had my carotids done. There's very little plaque in my carotid arteries. Hasn't changed in 5 years. So the exercise is what does it. Now, you can get what you're looking for as you get older is you want to get the most bang for your buck. That's where functional exercises come in. That's where that yard work comes in. That's where doing things that mimic how you live comes in. You always walk. You're always picking something up. You're always doing some kind of a squat. Anytime you get out of a chair or off a toilet seat, you're doing a squat. So you have to do functional exercises to make sure that you can continue to do a lot of the things that life requires of us with ease. You want to reduce injury risk. You don't want to fall and break your hip. You want to be flexible. You want to enhance your range of motion. One of the biggest things, this is crazy, man, I'm going to share it with you though. One of the biggest things that I have trouble with is if I come in my car and I come to a stop and I'm and I have to make a right-hand turn and I've got to turn to look behind me to see if anything's coming. My waist is so tight, I have to strain and pull on the steering wheel to be able to look back. This occurs because that was something that I neglected. I didn't work on, like torso twists and bending and doing side bends and trying to make sure that I was flexible and had the ability to move around. You want to have flexible joints. You have to do the exercises daily. Now, the program that I've put together for you involves a very short work. It's like 5 or 6 exercises that you're going to be doing for 30 seconds on. And then you're going to take a 10-minute break, and then you do it right through, okay? And then you do that on Monday. You do something else on Tuesday. And you do it for 3 repetitions. In other words, you do, let's just say, squats, twists, I'm making this up because I don't have it in front of me. And you do those exercises, okay, and you wait 10 seconds after you do it for 30. The last exercise, you take a 2-minute break, and then after the 2 minutes, you go back and do it again. You do that 3 times. And I have every video that you need that demonstrates this. It even has a clock associated with it. So you have the timing, so you know exactly, when to start and when to stop. This is a very, very key podcast because it's not so much, this thing costs $20, okay? And you can get, and I'm going to leave the link for you to buy it. But the idea is, it is key if you're older. It's key if you're stiff. It's key if when you were in high school, okay, you ended up breaking your ankle. It's key if you've had rotator cuff surgery. It's key if you've had knee surgery because you lose your functionality when you end up injuring certain muscles or bones. It's key if you have stenosis of the neck, if you have arthritis. All of this is key, and you have to do it. And it takes exactly 6 exercises, 30 seconds each. That's 2 minutes, and then you end up taking 2 minutes off and you do it again. Now that's 3 minutes, and then you take 2 minutes, that's 5, and then you do it again. So you're talking about 5 minutes, 3 times, 15 minutes. This isn't hard. It's not. What you have to practice is something that I've spoken about my entire life, and that's consistency. Doing it over and over and over and over again. And if you do it over and over again, it'll become a habit. And once you get the habit going, it becomes part of life. Then all of a sudden, you go out into the yard and you got to pick something up, or you got to bring in a ton of groceries, or, you have a flat and you got to jack up the car, or any number of activities that require you to call upon certain muscle groups, okay, any number of them, and you're in shape to be able to go through life and accept the challenge. That's functional fitness. That's how it works. Now, for the program, you're going to need your own body weight, obviously, some dumbbells, maybe some resistance bands if you want. You'll see when you look at the program. And then you come up with, you'll just go through the routine, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It takes 15 minutes each day, 45 minutes for the week, and you are now prepared to be able to face life on life's terms. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you want? You want to be able to face life on life's terms. You don't want to be on a walker. You don't want to be in a wheelchair. You want to be able to get out of your seat easily. You want to get off a toilet easily. You want to be able to walk a mall easily. You want to be able to do yard work easily. You want to have fun with your grandkids. You want to do all kinds of different, you want to dance with your spouse. You want to have fun. And in order to have that kind of fun, okay, you have to be functionally fit. I can't overemphasize this enough. Because as you get older, if you're not working on this, you're going to end up having all kinds of issues with your body. That's why people need joint replacement. That's why people, have arthritis. That's why people are on a cane. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being on a cane. I was on a cane for 3 months when I ended up having my quadriceps surgery because I ended up rupturing the tendon in my leg. But you want to be able to get back into the game. And in order to do that, you have to do things that allow you to get into the game. And that's being functionally fit. Look, we're not professional athletes, but we are people who truly want to live a fuller and more vibrant life. Let's get functionally fit. Let's work on it. I'm giving you the program. It's right there for you. All you got to do is just click on the link that I'm going to share with you, take you right to the website, okay, and you can get this thing. Full-blown videos and full program. You just got to watch it, follow it, and do what you have to do in order to be able to pick up your grandkids when you want to and be able to pick up a bag of mulch when you want to without feeling like a bus ran over you. Let's get this done. Let's get it done. I think you're going to be very happy with the program. You're going to be very happy with the outcome. Truly. I care about you. I want to see you do well. Hey, one other thing that functional fitness helps with, shoveling snow. Now, if you got a bad heart, you don't shovel snow. You got a heart like mine that's pretty strong, I shovel snow. I still do at 70. I get out there and I push snow around when it snows and I got to clear the driveway. I don't have heart damage. You got heart problems, you don't want to shovel snow. But if you're in good shape or you're working on getting in good shape, shoveling snow is exercise. It's not a chore. It helps with your burn calories. You're moving around. You're straining yourself a little bit. That's good. That's a good thing. Listen, my name's Jim Burns. You've been listening to Be Simply Fit. I certainly hope that you got something out of this podcast. I know I did, and I had a great time doing it, and I'm going to have a better time producing it, and you'll be able to get this right off of Spotify or any place where you are interested in and where you listen to your podcast. So, once again, my name is Jim Burns. Today's Friday, February 21st, 2025. I'll tell you this. Happy Friday, everybody. The weekend's coming. Enjoy your time. Take care.